Coffee, a major cash crop in Uganda for so many years. It has this country globally recognized as the third best in quality and the 8th in leading producers. The rich soils of Uganda favor two types of coffee. There's Arabica coffee that thrives on high altitudes like Mount Elgon of the east and Muhabura and Rwenzori of the southwest. Then there is Robusta coffee that thrives on low altitudes like the central region of this country.
The central government also came up to promote the crop with their popular Emwanyi Terimba program. Coffee has continued to play a leading role in the economy of Uganda, contributing between 20 to 30% of the foreign exchange earnings. Coming up on the program.
Because farming is a business and you need to track your investment. So when you take our coffee, within 2 years we will be able to start picking coffee.
Emwanyi zino teziteekwa kubeera mu muddo, ziteekwa okuba nga nsalire.
The coffee industry employs over 5 million Ugandans through coffee value-related activities. Over 1.7 million households in Uganda grow it. 85% of these households are smallholder farmers. It is a source of employment and many people, especially in the central, were educated from it.
Era omuwala omuggalanda nduuza mulabi ayina baby one. Yakamala ku University e Kabale bwe yafuluma n'afuna omwami abadde wano omuwala ng'abaana abo basomedde ku kigambo ki mwanyi zino.
It's on this note today that we meet Remy Sechito, the Managing Director, Bakugu Agricultural Technologies Limited. They are known for producing quality seedlings, aggregation of produce, and developing assistive farming technologies to ensure farming efficiency.
So right here is our plant nurseries, where we do multiplications of quality certified seedlings such as coffee, Hass avocado, cashew nuts, macadamia, and eucalyptus. Here we produce mainly Robusta coffee seedlings, what many farmers call the chrono coffee. So we have 10 lines. We produce KR1 to KR10. That is Chituza Robusta line 1 up to Chiduza Robusta line 10.
You too might be wondering who qualifies to get the seedlings. How are those people identified? What seedlings are ready to be taken from the nursery to the main garden? Generally, what is so unique with these seedlings? Remy here has all the answers.
Any Ugandan who wants to go into coffee farming can come and buy our coffee seedlings. So our coffee seedlings are sold to most of the farmers in the central region where Robusta coffee is grown. The uniqueness about the coffee you buy from Bakugu Agricultural Technologies Limited is centered on 3 main factors. Number 1, to produce this coffee with professionalism. So when we give you our coffee seedlings, you'll be very sure that when you take them in the field, they will not fail. They are well hardened, and we nurture them for quite some time so that whenever a farmer takes them, they can perform. Then number 2 is productivity. Our coffee seedlings are high yielding and fast maturing. Because farming is a business and you need to track your investment. So when you take our coffee, within 2 years you will be able to start picking coffee. And then number 3 is that our coffee are resistant to diseases such as coffee wilty disease, and they are tolerant to other diseases like the red blister disease, which are disturbing very many coffee farmers. The coffee multiply is picked from the certified coffee mother garden with seedlings picked from the certified research institute, that is Chituza in Mukono. So the coffee, from the time it is harvested from the mother garden up to when it goes to the farmer, we shall have a period of 9 months. So during that time, we raise it in the nursery and take it out for hardening, so that when the farmer takes it out, even if it meets the stresses of the sunshine and little rainfall, it can still perform.
If you are an intending coffee farmer, you need to know these facts. The whole chain starts from planting the right seedling, so be informed. If you go to buy, which seedling should you not buy?
The coffee that is covered here, this is called the rooting chamber. The reason why is when you cut that coffee, it doesn't have roots. So you put it here and you make sure that you lock out all the air so that you have enough warmth inside. So that warmth helps to increase the growth rate, and your coffee cuttings will develop the roots. So by the time we remove it from the chamber here, in about 2 months, the coffee will have developed the roots. So you can take out and give it an extra 2 months before you take it for hardening. When you cover the coffee in here, you water it at least twice a month. That is every after 2 weeks. So the indicator that shows that there is little water in here is these droplets on the cavera become big. Whenever they become big, you know there is little water. So you open, remove the weeds and water. Now like this one, we take the coffee for hardening when it has developed the 3 pairs of leaves. So like you see, this one has 1 pair, the second pair and the third pair. So this coffee is ready to be taken for hardening. When you are giving a farmer a coffee seedling that goes to the field, at least minimum it should have these 3 pairs of leaves. And when you see the roots, you see the pot already has some roots protruding out. That means that it has developed a vigorous root system, so it can withstand the hardening stress. But you can't take young coffee like this one, it still has only 2 pairs, so it is not ready for hardening. So when you are taking them for hardening, you do what we call sorting. You pick only those ones that are ready and you take them outside. Hardening is like making something used to the outside condition. You see here in the nursery, this shade net here filters out the sun's rays. So when you pick the seedlings direct from here to the garden, they cannot withstand the direct sunlight. So you have to take them outside so that they have that feel of what the conditions in the field is going to be.
The coffee seedlings can be bought on a relatively good price for any farmer that wants to venture into this business.
Our seedlings here are sold at the best rates. For the case of coffee, you will be able to buy per seedling at 1,500 Uganda shillings. Other seedlings such as the cashew nuts, which is 6,000, Hasovacado is 5,000, the macadamia is 10,000. Yes, we've worked with a number of farmers. We have helped Ugandans, especially in the diaspora, establish farms all over the country.
With me is Mr. Mbuka Sulait, a farmer and leader in his area in Namyoya, a model farmer benefiting from the innovation of Bakugo Agriculture Technologies Limited. We are here in his home to see and get a feel of his experience while using the Coffee Decker tool. He holds coffee farming in high regard.
Emmwanyi zino kati nze okujjako emirimu egyo gye nkugamba ejja obusawo obwami bwa Ssaabasajja Kabaka, naye obudde bwange bwonna obwo bwe bulamu. Era ekintu ekyo nkiwa obudde obusinga obungi. Emmwanyi zino teziteekwa kubeera mu muddo. Emmwanyi zino kyakubiri oteekwa okuzisala, ziteekwa okuba nga nsalire. Oteekwa okugula eddagala n'ozifuuyira waggulu okwo osobole okukendeeza ku ndwadde ezaali zikoze eki. Wansi wano ku kikolo tulina ebirungo bituteekako. Kwegamba dry eno ensonga esookerwako obukulu kye kigambo twalinga twanika emmwanyi. Kakati tulina ebisolo, tulina enkoko, toyinza kuzigaana kuyingira mu mmwanyi z'obuyanise wano. Enkoko bweyingira omwo olutakula ng'epamu omwo. Naye emmwanyi gy'oyanise mu dry omwo yonna ejja nga ekala bulungi, tefuna musana mungi nnyo nga gw'olaba ogwo. Egamba ekala mu nkala eyalibadde entuufu. Emmwanyi n'ezitowa bulungi n'ebeera ng'ate nnyonjo.
Mr. Mbuka is appealing to government to help farmers secure soft loans, especially so coffee farmers. These can help them in difficult times.
Tubadde tusaba gavumenti yayitufuddeko nnyo. Kuba gavumenti nayo nkakasa nti ekintu ekyo kye kimu ku kiyimirizzaawo eggwanga. Ekigambo ky'ebigimusa bino bye bimu bye biremesezza omulimi w'emmwanyi. Kati kaani ow'ekkiro 5 obudde buno akasawo okagula emitwalo 20. Akali ogenda oteebereza nina eka 4 n'ekitundu wano. Oteekamu ensawo eziwera 8. Ekitegeeza ate z'oba okungudde muno, sente ezo era si bwe zikola ki? n'osigala nga tolina kyofunye. So senga ebigimusa ebyo babituleetera ku bbeeyi entonotono, omulimu emmwanyi asobola okulima, gattako n'obuyambi naddala nga mu byensimbi. Kati obudde nga buno obudde bwa kusoma, naye omulimu w'emmwanyi tafiiriddwako, so kati otunuulira tekukyali mmwanyi. Twalibadde tubeerawo n'ekintu munna agendako oba mu kasako gundi, kasako kaffe kali awo, bakuwoleyo akakadde kamu, bw'ona okungula sente zijja kukola ki? Kale ebizibu ebyo tusanga ffe abalimi b'emmwanyi.
Post-harvest handling is one of the most critical steps of the coffee value chain, where the coffee quality can either be compromised or maintained. All farmers should ensure this and take it seriously. Bakugu Agriculture Technologies has embarked on a campaign to help farmers through this process by providing them with a coffee decker tool.
In 2019, the Food and Agriculture Organization reported that Uganda loses almost 40% of our agricultural produce due to poor post-harvest handling techniques. Drying increases the shelf life, preserves the flavor, and also it maintains the nutritional value of a given agricultural product. And unfortunately, most of our farmers use inadequate and inefficient drying techniques, for example the taparins, at worst case scenario the bare ground, and sometimes the cemented floors. As Bakugu Agricultural Technologies, we invented a coffee decker tool to solve all this, to improve on the quality of agricultural produce. The coffee decker tool is a simple, movable, multi-layered tool that can be used by the farmer conveniently, easily at his own convenience, such that he can dry his coffee faster, cleaner, and produce good quality coffee and other crops at his farm. The coffee decker tool dries an agricultural product 50% more than the other drying techniques. Normally, when the ordinary farmer is drying his coffee outside, they might take around 2 weeks, or that is 14 days of regular sunlight. But this coffee decker can only take about a week or even less if the farmer regularly takes out his coffee. The coffee decker tool relies on solar radiation conservation, heat retention, and airflow circulation within the tool. It protects the product from contamination from the surrounding area. For maximum results, the coffee decker tool must be maintained clean, and also it must be zipped up to down, such that no more dust, air circulation goes into the coffee decker tool. That's when we come up with maximum productivity.
Now we'll go for a short commercial break, and when we return, our expert from Bukola Chemical Industries will give us the do's and the don'ts in coffee production. Glad you're still watching. On our segment of farming opportunities today, we throw more light on what opportunities are available for farmers and how they can get this tool at a more subsidized rate.
Farmers are getting the coffee decker tool at a subsidized price. We are calling upon 60 farmers, the first 60 farmers to get this tool. They will get it at reduced price at around 1.5 million. Right now we have the first production has been aimed for the smallholder farmer producing about 1 to 5 acres. But for any other farmer producing above 5 acres, they can come to our farm and we produce him a bigger tool.
Welcome to another segment of Expert Opinion, brought to you by Bukola Chemical Industries. Today our expert is Mr. Seruwo Solomon, an agronomist with Bukola Chemical Industries. It's nice to have you again.
Thanks for having me.
Today let's talk coffee, yes?
Sure.
What is best required for coffee farming?
Coffee requires a deep, fertile soil, well-drained fertile soil. And of course, because we know the Arabica does well in the highlands and the Robusta does well in the lowlands, it's important that you fit the best type in the right topology or wherever you are. The highland people, of course, the Arabica, and then the lowlands, we're looking at Robusta. So deep, well, fertile soils, great for coffee.
So for a farmer to reap big, how much coffee are we looking at on an acre?
The spacing usually goes from about 3 by 4 meters to almost 3 by 4. 3 by 4 and 3 by 3. And for the Robusta coffee, we are looking at somewhere around 450 plants with that spacing. So an acre, well planted, could accommodate about 450 coffee plants.
So as Bukola Chemical Industries, what is it that you would offer farmers, or what best pesticides should they consider so that they can have, you know, a good yield?
Coffee is a perennial crop, and that means it runs year round. And in the first about 2 years, a farmer should be able to at least have the harvest. So in the cycle of coffee production, a number of diseases and pests could attack, and we'll talk about some of the most common and then what Bukola as a company has as solutions to those problems. The most common insect pests are about 2, and one of them is the black coffee twig borer, the other is the coffee berry borer. And for those 2 insect pests, what is more important for a farmer to know, rather than the expectation that there will be application of an insecticide to manage, is to take care of the coffee plantation. What the black coffee twig borer has taught us is, if we see it infesting the garden, it is an indicator of poor management already, because it is attracted mostly to stressed trees which produce a certain type of alcohol which attracts the borer. And therefore, if a coffee plantation has not been taken care of in terms of nutrition, and therefore the trees are nutrient stressed, if there is moisture stress or disease and pest stress, then the black coffee twig borer will definitely get in. Also, the issue of shade management contributes a lot to the infestation by the black coffee twig borer. So it is important to manage our coffee plantation, the coffee plants, such that they are in good health to be able to resist or tolerate such infestation. So for starters, not even attract the borer. But if you have the borer in place, the first important step you need to take, one, is to look at the shading, reduce the shading, and do away with trees that are alternate hosts for the borer. The other is to take the twigs away, the infested twigs away, because if you do not, the twig borer completes its cycle and prepares yet again to attack the other twigs. So break away the attacked twigs. We usually buy, especially the dry ones, because when you spray even the active pesticide or the insecticide against the borer, it will not be able to act because the active ingredient is not translocated in a dry twig. The dry twig cannot translocate the insecticide, and therefore the borer is protected from the effects of the pesticide or the insecticide in particular. So break away the dry twigs, collect them and burn them. That reduces the eggs and therefore the population that will attack the plantation. Then the other is to ensure that you apply the most effective insecticide immediately you experience the attacks. And some of the most effective insecticides include Striker. It is a dual formulation of 2 active ingredients. One is contact, another one is systemic. And then the other is Ramida. It contains imidacloprid, which also does great against the coffee twig borer. When it comes to the berry borer, we need to, again, hygiene, because the berry borer will mummify green attack berries, they will dry and several times fall to the ground, and if they're not cleaned from the season's harvest, again they complete the cycle through which again you'll have the second attack. So ensure that after you've harvested, do not allow any berries on the ground. That will take care of the berry borer, but also some other diseases like Cercospora. Now specifically for the diseases, one of the most common is the coffee berry disease, and then of course the Cercospora and the leaf rust. Leaf rust is a little bit unique and dangerous in a way that it is the leading defoliator of coffee trees. You lose leaves, the plant will not be able to manufacture food, and therefore the vigor reduces right away, and the size of the berries is also curtailed. You cannot get big berries, and therefore the weights that we require will also not be achieved. So one of the novel remedies, solutions we have for coffee farmers, we've been working on for a bit of time, is a product called Cafedac, which contains micronutrients, but specially contains an oligosaccharide which activates the plant defense mechanism. Unlike human beings, the plant defense mechanism is latent, is asleep until it has been awakened. So Cafedac contains oligosaccharides that activate the coffee defense system, which produces antimicrobial compounds within the coffee plant itself, and therefore the coffee is able to protect itself against disease, reduce the defoliation, and therefore increase the amount of yields that one is looking at. And because coffee is mostly an export crop, I think we are not commonly coffee consumers. We do a lot of tea, but because it's an export crop and the requirements for export coffee are quite tight, applying Cafedac that activates the plant defense mechanism against disease will ensure that one reduces, one, the cost of application of fungicides or bactericides for that matter, but also produce coffee that is safe for human consumption, because Cafedac is certified, organic certified by OMRI.
So thank you for joining us again, and we hope to see you over and over again, because your expertise is a breath of fresh air. Thank you so much for watching. Please keep those comments coming in on our social media handles. #NTV Seeds of Gold. Thank you for watching. See you next week.